Hey guys, I'll show you real quick. My PS5. Ah! It came in. Been playing Final Fantasy 16 for a little bit, but it's time for another collection. I said I was going to do Sega Genesis and Dreamcast all in one video because neither one of those collections are big. I only have a handful of each. So we'll start off with those. So we're going to start off with the Sega Genesis. I'll show you. There's really, like I said, nothing real big to it. So, and Dreamcast is even less, so I mean, it's not going to be anything big. But the first one is kind of hard to see because it's been all marked over and all kinds of stuff. But it's Altered Beast, classic Sega Genesis game. A lot of people, besides Sonic, if you think of Sega Genesis, a lot of people think of Altered Beast. Fun game, platforming, something like that. It's actually a really fun game. So then we have Batman Returns. I think this is kind of similar to the one for the NES and Super Nintendo. It's a beat 'em up. I could be wrong. I haven't really played the Sega Genesis version much on it, but I think it's kind of like a similar version, similar of it. So it's Batman. So then we have another game that people think Sega Genesis. They think of this game, not Sonic, Altered Beast, all kinds of it. It's actually really fun. Uh, Echo the Dolphin. Who would think that a platform and adventure game involving a dolphin would be so fun? But it can be kind of hard to, a little frustrating and hard, but it's actually really fun enough to where it wanted to do quite a few sequels. So I'll get that situated and all kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's fun. Next one, I don't know why I got this. I got it for the lulz. It was cheap. I don't, but Shaq Fu. It's terrible, but I got it for the lulz. Very horrible fighting game involving Shaquille O'Neal. It's one of the worst games of all time, but I got it for the lulz. So if you don't know about it, there was actually a movement where like this website was trying to go around collecting every copy of the game to destroy it. That's how bad the game was. But did I get my copy? I'm a collector, so did I get my copy? So yeah, I got Shaq Fu. Then we have Sonic 3D Blast. It's like a quasi 3D Sega Genesis game with Sonic. It's fun. I'll have to. I mean, I've played a little bit of it and stuff like that, but I'll have to really get into it a little bit more. So, it's Sonic, like a 3D, kind of like a quasi 3D Sonic game. So, for now, I think you have involves time travel. I think there's like a future and a present and past and all that kind of stuff. So, I could be thinking of the wrong Sonic game though. Then we have the expansion, Sonic and Knuckles. You can play it by itself, and it's just like a regular game. Or you can put Sonic 3 on top of it, or Sonic 2 on top of it, and play like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3, but with Knuckles in it too. So, this is a standalone game, but you can put a cartridge, like a Sonic cartridge, on top of it and play Knuckles with it. I think it only works for 2 and 3 though. It might work for Sonic 1, but I'm not absolutely sure. So, then we have Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. It's Street Fighter 2, but it has like a lot more characters. It has all the characters too. You can play as Balrog and Vega and M Bison and Sagat, along with the original other characters and stuff like that. So it's just basically kind of an expansion of the original Street Fighter 2. Still one of the best fighting games ever. So then, speaking of Sonic, I have Sonic the Hedgehog. What started it all? It's fun. And so I think there was a Sonic game for the Master System that came out furthest, but this is the game that made it popular. So Sonic 1, Sonic 2, probably the most popular one and probably the one that stuff like that. It adds Tails to it. Sonic 3, stuff like that, and adds Knuckles and stuff like that, and it's fun. And Sonic Spinball. It's Sonic. It's a pinball game that actually has a story, and we're still going around trying to collect the emeralds and So that, but you do it like in a pinball machine kind of format. It's Sonic and pinball. Bunch of pinball games and stuff like that. Bunch of stuff. You have to do certain tasks to complete the thing and stuff like that, and eventually defeat uh, Dr. Robotnik. And that's it for the Sega. Like I said, it wasn't big. Then I have a few Dreamcast games. This is the Sega Dreamcast web browser, which, you know, but inside I have Jet Grind Radio. It's like a rhythm music based platforming skateboarding. It's skateboarding with a lot of music, I believe. So it's fun. A lot of the music's really kick ass too. So then we have Shenmue. A lot of people, when you think of Dreamcast, you think of Shenmue, Sonic Adventure, stuff like that. Shenmue's definitely one of the games you think of when you think of Sega Dreamcast. When I had more games, I had Grandia 2, which is the game I'm currently playing. I'm doing the PS2 version of that, but I had that. But Shenmue, fighting game, a real time fighting, beat 'em up style kind of game. So that kind of you can control time and weather and all that kind of stuff like that too. So, and also inside we have NBA 2K. It came with it. Right? It's NBA. And Sega Sports Flag to Flag. Kind of like just a sports game with racing, and I think it's like a racing game, so it's racing. And finally, I said not big. I have actually a ROM hack. It's the actual game, but there's a little twist to it. It's Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it's the Michael Jackson remix. All the songs in the game are Michael Jackson songs. It's Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but all the songs are Michael Jackson songs. So if you like Marvel vs. Capcom, I mean, it is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's the game. It's just Michael, but all the songs are just done by Michael Jackson. So they just changed the soundtrack to all Michael Jackson songs. And that's it for Sega and Dreamcast. I told you I really didn't have a whole lot for those. So next up, looking on I'll do Nintendo 64 next. So I'll do Nintendo 64 next, which isn't that big of a collection, but it's bigger than this. So we'll do N64 next. So that was my Sega Genesis and Dreamcast collection. Next up will be Nintendo 64. Have a good day.